Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lennon. How you guys doing? And welcome back to yet another top 5 video. So today we are taking a look at Rome 2, because Rome 2 has some of the most diverse campaigns experiences in the franchise. You go from barbarian tribes fighting for survival to empires on the brink of collapse. But some of these campaigns aren't just about the conquest. They are about challenge, grit, and survival. So in this video we will be breaking down the top 5 of our best challenge campaigns in Total War Rome 2. So we're going to include them, ranking them and including their strengths, their weaknesses, and what makes them so rewarding to play. So right off the bat, kicking off at number 5, we have the Iceni. So let's get in there. The playing as the proud tribes of Britain may sound simple in the beginning. But holding your fractured island together while preparing to face the might of Rome is anything but easy. So the pros of this faction, of this challenge campaign, is you have a very unique early on starting position, early game isolation, if you might even want to call it that, which gives you pretty much breathing room to expand into the Isles at your leisure, I would say. As the Iceni, you field pretty much very fierce melee infantry with some very decent options, and your heroic noble swords that will dominate close quarters combat. Your units have excellent morale, cultural bonuses, and enough cultural bonuses to keep your warriors loyal in times of combat. The cons of this faction and the hardships of this challenge campaign is you have very limited early on trade options, since probably expansion goes this way, so there's not much of exploration, so you don't have too much options for trade and building up your economy. Also, your barbarian tech tree falls behind some of the more culturalized and what do you call it, civilized factions. And naval invasions can be very tricky. Crossing the channel, crossing the seas leaves you very vulnerable, either your fleets or your armies or your cities, since it is quite a few turns before you can get towards the other side of the sea. So all in all, the Iceni campaign forces you to master both your defense and aggression, so it's a perfect introduction to how tribal warfare can still overcome imperial might. So with that being said, let's go on to number 4. At number 4 we got Epirus, basically the ultimate underdog of the Greek world. Surrounded by enemies like Sparta, Macedon, and Rome, this campaign is a brutal balancing act. So if we start taking a look at the pros of this challenge campaign, you got access to very strong early units, including like elephants, pikemen, and versatile infantry. You even start out with a unit of elephants and some pikemen. You also have a great starting position for expansion to either into Italy or Greece, and you do have the potential to relive the legacy of Pyrrhus and become a new Greek powerhouse in the region, maybe even the new dominant player in Rome. However, your great starting position always comes with the con that you start at war with multiple factions. You have a lot of enemies around you. You have very limited income and small territory, and limited income is mostly due to factions around you do not like you. So you need requires a constant diplomacy and smart alliances to survive. If you're going all out, it's gonna be very difficult. So all in all, Epirus gives you that true against all odds feeling, because every victory feels damn hard earned. Every city captured feels like more survival than conquest in the start. So not a whole big description, but a very interesting challenge campaign. So on to towards number 3 on the list. And at number 3 we have Nabatea. Nabatea is the yeah, like the desert merchants of Nabatea. A nomadic challenge focus on survival, trade, and tactical warfare in the arid sands of Arabia. So, taking a look at the pros of this faction and this campaign itself, you have exceptional trade bonuses. You can build like a very rich economy very quickly on, and that also is because at this you have a plus 15% tariff on income from trade agreements. So with that, you can build up your trade economy very quickly. You have a lot of light cavalry and missile troops that dominate desert warfare. As we can take a quick look over here, very much able-bodied cavalry units, including spears and horses and chariots. So very good to dominate desert warfare. The defensive terrain on the campaign map makes holding your territory quite a lot easier, since there's a lot of mountains, no really good ways to come to your lands quickly. However, the cons of this campaign is you have pretty weak early on infantry. So as of right now, you're only able to build like very minor units. However, once you get towards the second and later units, you can actually build some very decent units, so that's only like an early game struggle. Expansion options are quite limited because the desert offers very few rich targets. So your rich targets are Seleucus and Egypt, and the rest of this is pretty poor in comparison. So be wise about where you want to expand your holdings to. And since you're in the desert, you still require a careful management of food and sanitation for diseases and like normal food outbreaks and all that stuff. So all in all, the Nabatean campaign is all about patience and positioning, using wealth and cunning to outlast your stronger neighbors. Pom pom pom. And that is our number 3 spot. So let's go back towards our number 2. In second place, we have the Roxolani, the Masters of the Steppe. So if you want a fast-paced combat and want a nomadic challenge, this might very well be the one for you. So to take a look at this faction and this challenge campaign, let's talk about the pros first. You have a devastating horse archers and cavalry compartment in your armies. If we take a look at, where is it? Shit, I'm at the wrong one. Horses. I think it's this one, yeah. A very big ass noble horse archer compartment. So mobility is probably going to be your greatest weapon as the Roxolani. You have a very strong early game raiding potential, which might help your income. Like everywhere basically. And you have the freedom to migrate and rebuild anywhere on the map, since you basically have no real home here as well. The cons is you are with your horses and your horse archers, you will inevitably be very weak against fortified cities, against walls and big ass garrisons and small corridors and that sort of stuff. You have a pretty poor economy until you start settling, be it here, be it somewhere else. And every battle is high micromanagement intensive due to all your archers, horse archers, your mobility. Everything needs like baby focus on everything. So all in all, the Roxolani is a campaign rewards that rewards the bold player. Every victory must be earned in motion. Strike fast, fade away, and live off the spoils of war. Prolonged intensive combat for these guys is not really doable. So be mindful when you start playing this campaign. And then we go towards our number 1. Ba-da-ba-pa. And at number 1 of one of the best challenge campaigns that round 2 has to offer, Carthage. So this campaign is the ultimate challenge in the empire management, naval dominance, and survival against Rome. So of course you guys will probably be familiar with Carthage, but nevertheless, the pros of what makes this such a good challenge campaign is you have a massive trade potential, can be one of the richest starts in the game if you play it well. You have incredible naval units for sea control and support of your naval settlements, or your sea-based settlements, however you want to call it. You have a pretty much very diverse military with mercenaries, heavy infantry, pikemen, elephants at your disposal to really like symbolize every place, Jesus, I'm fumbling for words. I don't know why, but you have a very diverse army roster, including a very diverse roster in mercenaries to complement every army and every way you want to fight it. Holy crap, I don't know why that was so hard to pronounce all at one sentence. However, the cause of this campaign, Rome will inevitably come for your ass. And once they start, they will not stop. So you'll probably be the main focus of Roman aggression until you are the one to take them out. Besides that, managing distant provinces and rebellions can be a nightmare, since you are very dispersed, and over here you'll have a lot of public order troubles, since there is mostly an Iberian culture, so you'll need to expand and maintain this part of your empire as well. Naval battles can be very risky. Losing a fleet could cripple your economy. However, there is this thing called a military wharf, which mostly negates naval battles being risky, because with like a stack of 6 to 10 ballista ships, you can basically defeat any 20 stack of transports that's coming your way. So that might be a little bit negated, but it still takes effort and skill to take on entire 20 stacks of fleets and transports with a few ballista ships. So all in all, the Carthaginian campaign combines basically everything: economy, diplomacy, and warfare into one intense experience. So it's not just about conquering, it's also about enduring basically everything that the game wants to throw at you. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me get back to this screen. So there we have it. The top 5 best challenge campaigns Rome 2 has to offer. So whether you're holding the line with Epirus, raiding with the Roxolani, or rebuilding the entirety of Carthage's empire, each campaign tests your strategy in a very unique way. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below if you think I missed something, if there's something you want to add to this list. Please let me know in the comments. Could even make a revised video if there is so much stuff extra. But let me know. So thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to leave a like, comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.